Alright, what's good y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. So, like I say at the beginning of almost every video at this point, we're still quite a ways away from the release of Pokemon Legends ZA. And at this point, I feel like we have speculated on everything that we possibly can about this game without knowing anything about it. So, if you want to check out that playlist, it's on the channel. We have talked about this game excessively, and we have not seen a glimpse of it. So this might be the last one for a little while, but who knows, maybe something else will come up. We'll play it by ear. So, as the title and thumbnail suggests, I do have one final major question about this game before knowing anything about it. Are we gonna have online? Is that gonna be a thing in Pokemon Legends ZA? Once again, of course, this comes from the aspect of Pokemon Legends Arceus not having that at all, really. We were able to trade with each other, of course, but there were mechanics implemented in that game that didn't even make that necessary to do. Once again, it's kind of hard to differentiate where Pokemon Legends stands in terms of a spin-off series or a mainline series. Because the first game was so circumstantial and basically a miracle that it actually ever even happened, we really don't know what to expect with Legends ZA. Which is why I have crafted just a couple of questions regarding the online aspect when it comes to this next game. And so, you already know how this goes. Go ahead, strap in, grab a bowl of your macaroni and barbecue, and let's talk about some of the possibilities of online aspects when it comes to Pokemon Legends ZA. So, for the sake of this video, I have narrowed this down to three very simple questions. The first being, will we have online capabilities? We know for certain that there's no way in hell that they're not going to give us absolutely nothing. If they're going to play it like the Legends Arceus route, we do know that we will have at least one guaranteed online capability, and that's going to be trading with each other. If there's at least one guaranteed thing that we can do in most of the mainline games on the Switch that aren't like actual dedicated spin-offs, it's being able to trade with other people. Yes, it is very strange that they implemented a mechanic that allows us to bypass that. However, even with that implemented, they still gave us the option to go online and trade Pokemon with our friends. If anything, it seems a lot more likely to me that they would more likely get rid of the item shop that allows us to buy items that completely bypass trading. That just makes more sense to me. At the heart and soul of this franchise, it has always been about community. Getting to know people and getting you out of your comfort space, talking to people and communicating about these games, which is why I don't see the trading aspect going anywhere. So at the very least, I know for a fact we will have some form of online capability, even if it is locked down to simply trading with other people. Beyond that though, it's almost impossible to say because, like I've said a million times over, Legends Arceus was so absurdly circumstantial, and because of that, we lost a lot of primetime mechanics that we didn't think were gonna lose in a game like this. We had none of our typical mechanics like abilities and held items, but most importantly, we weren't even able to battle each other locally, let alone online. This was something that was, at least half surprising to a lot of people, but given the circumstances, yeah, it was still very strange. The only logical conclusion that I can come to is because we didn't have those other mechanics to help balance out battles, it would be kind of hard to justify giving us a battle mode that was completely broken. Not that we would care about that, I think. Most casual players wouldn't anyway, but I feel like that would definitely get to a lot of other people. I guess at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is the only thing that's guaranteed to return as far as online capabilities is being able to trade with each other. We don't know if we're going to get battling, and we don't know what this game looks or plays like, so we don't know if we're going to get any extra mechanics or things to do. So for now, that's just something that we're going to have to wait on. We really don't know. The second question that comes to mind is, do we need online capabilities in Pokemon Legends ZA? If you were asking me personally, I'd say no, I don't think that we need it, and Pokemon Legends Arceus has proven that beautifully. Even in comments on very recent videos about Pokemon Legends Arceus, people will tell you, yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus was definitely one of the most fun games in the entirety of the series. Even though it is at its core still a turn-based RPG, we got so many different and unique elements to Pokemon that it changed the game a lot and made it a lot of fun. It was able to carve its own identity, and in turn, it gave us plenty of things to focus on outside of our typical online things like battling and trading and all that other stuff. Don't get me wrong here, I don't think that having online capabilities and more things to do would be a bad thing. Far from it, I feel like it would do nothing but benefit the game. However, I don't think that we're desperate for it. I don't think that the game absolutely needs it to be good. Legends Arceus gave us enough content to be pretty much content with the game as it was. I didn't see or hear many people complaining about missing aspects like not having raid battles like in the last game or not being able to battle other trainers. So of course when it came to the online aspects, yeah, we were a little bummed that we couldn't battle each other, but we weren't really crying over it, you know? And like I mentioned earlier, there is a very good chance that they could absolutely bring back those in-game items that make it so that we can evolve certain Pokemon without needing to trade. So in all honesty, that in of itself completely proves that we don't need to have online. So to break it down, in my personal book, no, I don't think that we need to have it. It absolutely helps, and there is absolutely not going to be any complaints from me about some kind of extra content and having something to do in post-game. Pokemon Legends Arceus in of itself proves that if we have a dedicated enough story, dedicated enough mechanics, and a dedicated development to the open zone style, we don't need to rely on online to keep us busy. If ZA is anything like Legends Arceus, I'm gonna be way too busy rolling around in open fields, dodging dangerous Pokemon, catching dangerous Pokemon, battling dangerous Pokemon, and focus on the plot. I don't need online. I'm good. And now for my final question. Do we want online capabilities? Now you guys did just hear me speak for a good like 3.5 minutes about why we don't need it. But wanting it is an entirely different situation. That would not be a problem with anybody in any way, shape, or form. No, we don't need online trading, especially if we have those items that allow us to evolve Pokemon without needing to trade. However, it would be beneficial to have that option as opposed to grinding out specific currency to buy those specific items. No, we don't need online battling. However, it would give us something to do after we've completed the main game and done a majority of our Pokemon collecting for our Pokédex. Also, I can't remember how long ago I mentioned this wish of mine for Legends ZA, but I really do want raid mechanics in Legends ZA if that's possible. Having alpha Pokemon raids or Mega Evolution raids would be so much fun, and being able to do that with other people, especially your friends in early game or late game, would be awesome. It would just be awesome. I'm still very much within the camp that fully believes that there's a lot of mechanics missing from Pokemon Legends Arceus solely because that game was a bit of a rush job because it was supposed to be something else. That's it. Otherwise, if it weren't for that, I am fully under the impression that we would have had alpha Pokemon raids. And if there's one piece of Pokemon content that I believe is a great addition that should probably continue on for a good amount of the series, it's having raid battles. They're so much fun. Say whatever you will about 8th gen raids or 9th gen raids, they are good mechanics to have. Even if they aren't perfect, they are good to have. So if it wasn't obvious, yeah, why the hell not? Go ahead and throw in some online capabilities if you have the time and resources to do so. It's essentially like imagining if Pokemon Legends Arceus had online battling as well as raid battles available. I could say one thing for sure, we definitely would have spent a hell of a lot longer on that game if that was the case. Having online is simply one of those things that is an optional interactable thing. We can have it, but if we don't care for it, we don't need to bother it. It's never that serious. So there's absolutely no harm in adding it. It's just more content. But it seems like we have gotten to the point where I'm just kind of running around in circles here. So long and short of it is, we can absolutely have online content that would benefit the game if you guys can manage it. However, if you decided not to have it, that would be totally fine. That means that you're just putting in more effort into the base game, and maybe we can consider adding that stuff later. But, you know, it is what it is. Play it by ear. If you guys can manage to do it, great. If you can't, whatever. That's totally fine. put as much love and care as you can into this game, whether we have online capabilities or not. At least that's how I see it, but hey, maybe that's just me. So that just about does it for this one. A shorter one, for sure, I know, but I think that's okay. It's just another Legends EA ramble, something that we've done plenty of times already. But, you know, whatever they decide to do, I'm with it. I want them to focus as much as they possibly can on ZA and really make a true shift for Pokemon, because we are in some really dire times with this franchise and we're at the point where we don't know what we're going to be looking at. So I would rather they take as much time as possible, even if that means sacrificing online to get it out at a reasonable time without having to sacrifice anything from the base game to make online capabilities. I think we'll be fine without them. Arceus good and well proved that, as I've said, but we're not gonna run through that again. So anyway, that's how I see things. However, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the mic to you guys, and you guys are gonna tell me what you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Do you think that we should have online capabilities? Do you think that that's something that we need from a Pokemon game, regardless of if it's a Legends game or not, and that's something that Arceus should have had and that we can improve on in Pokemon Legends EA? Or are we in the completely wrong ballpark? We don't need online capabilities whatsoever. We can absolutely live without them, and we'll be totally fine. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just so. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me a greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone. So thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.